Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
So those sounded great, those two songs.
Thank you.
You kind of make me feel like Randy Jackson a little bit on American Idol because you're so young and talented and but only in terms of I feel like I should be judging you because I'm older than you. But
You don't remind me of Randy Jackson, so
I get it.
I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, well, I hope not because he's annoying. Sorry. He's very talented, and he's not going to watch this, so it's okay. So talk to me about those two songs you played. Felix was the first one, right? Mm-hmm. And Daniel and the Great Summer Solstice, what is it?
The Great Solstice.
Okay.
Daniel and the Great Solstice.
I want summer to come. That's why it's in my head.
I do too.
Well, you're from Chicago, so you're praying for summer, right?
Yeah, well, summer for us is a couple months if we're lucky.
Yeah.
And the rest is winter, less winter, and more winter. It's levels of winter, and then summer.
Right. There's no spring, no fall.
I mean there is, but it's so cold that nobody really cares.
Yeah.
But
it's winter.
But I mean,
winterish.
I like cold weather, so okay. I guess I'm just meant to be in Chicago. I guess I do well and I like snow and stuff. So
yeah, I don't know. I feel like the two songs you played kind of. I don't know. I can picture listening when I'm inside and it's cold outside, and I don't know.
That's probably
because
I wrote it.
Yeah,
kind of
it's complimentary. It's not I would listen to it in the summer too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, that's probably. I wonder if that's because I do write it. I write a lot in the winter too. I found myself that the winter is something about being feeling like you are in in a conflict with your environment a little bit that makes you want to somehow release a little bit. So I find that I do write probably more in winter than I do in summer.
So, but talk to me about Felix and Daniel.
Yeah, well, Felix is a song that's been with me for a while. It's funny because I wrote it in the first, when I went to record that song for Rift into the Secret of Things, it was the only song, all the songs on that album, my album, I sing all the backup vocals and I do all the background vocals, but that song, when I wrote it, it was the only song that I've ever written that I've said, this needs a male harmony part. It just, there needs to be a male voice in the song, and I always thought that about the song. And there was this singer-songwriter that I heard from time to time on Sirius Radio, and I listened to him, and his name was Joey Ryan, and he had just this really soulful, kind of flowing voice that was I just thought it was beautiful. And I was a really big fan of him for a really long time, so when I got to LA, I told my co-producer Will, this needs to have a male harmony part. And he kind of showed me a couple of guys that he knew, and it was one was too poppy kind of sounding, and one was just, they just weren't, I mean, they were really good singers, but I just had this really strong vision of what the voice should be. And I told him, I was there's this singer, I mean, you probably, I don't know if you've heard of him, his name is Joey Ryan. He's yeah, Joey's an LA guy. I can call him up and let's see if I'll tell him the project and I'll see if he's interested. And he called him and he was definitely interested. And he came in and he sang backup vocals. And actually, then later on, he's in the band The Milk Carton Kids, and Kenneth, who is also in that duo, played guitar on that song. So actually, both of the guys from the Milk Carton Kids played on Felix. So. It was really great because I was a fan of his, and
cool.
It was really cool. Daniel and the Great Solstice was interesting recording too, because when I wrote it, it's a song that the timing and everything it's not meant for a studio type of recording. It's hard to do it in a studio setting because of the timing and everything. So we ended up I just played it in a room and we recorded it live, and then later on we added some cymbals and strings and fun stuff. But when I recorded it, it was just in a room, just a couple takes, just live. And a lot of the album ended up being that way, just being a live sort of thing. So.
And what about lyrically? What do you get? your inspirations by and blah, blah, blah. And you probably get it a lot too. Like, oh, you're only 17. How, what kind of life experiences could you have had? So lame. People who say that, you should punch them in someplace.
Thank you.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I'm just seriously, like, I mean, I would assume some songs come from a different place, some from another, some would take longer to write, some just kind of flow right out of you, right?
Yeah. Something that I've always been interested in is just other people in general, and other people, not in like a fictional writer kind of like story type of way, but other people's lives and other people's perspectives have always really, really fascinated me. And the fact that it's always going to be different depending on who the person is. So a lot of times when I'm writing, I'm pulling from either what I think somebody else's mindset is or situation, or what their situation or mindset actually is. And I play a lot with perspective and switching perspective. But then again, a lot of my songs come from myself, and a lot of my songs come from my own life and stuff like that. So it's always different, and the process is always different, and I have no clue what happens when when I do it. Mm-hmm. It just, I don't know, it's just kind of
just comes out of you, right?
I guess, yeah.
Well, I can even see that with you performing. Like, you go to some place that's not here.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not in the room with this weird guy in this small classroom.
Yeah, I don't know what I do. I just kind of do it.
So, just before we wrap it up, I just want to know, people can find out about you and what your touring's like. I know that the album's coming out in August, right?
Yeah, August 13th.
Okay.
The Rift into the Secret of Things is the name of the album, and I'm playing a few shows here in New York while I'm here. I'm playing Rockwood Music Hall tomorrow night, and then Arlene's Grocery and The Living Room. Mm-hmm. And that's March 28th, 2013. So depending.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
And
there's gonna be one guy who's watching it like, damn, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Hi, future. But yeah, I'm going to play Subterranean on May 17th in Chicago, mm-hmm. and Summerfest in Milwaukee, and then a CD release party in August for the album. I've been working on the album since last year, and it's like the biggest project I've ever worked on, and I just completely have immersed myself in it for the past year, and I'm just kind of seeing the light after finishing this album. So that's really I'm really excited about that, releasing the album. I've been looking forward to that for a long time.
Yeah, I bet. And you're graduating high school.
Yeah, there's that too.
I like that that's just thrown in.
Well.
And I'm graduating.
You know.
Cool. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks so much.